FarmKenya, brought to you by Fugo.
Shiba, Utashiba, Fugo Calf Starter Pellets, Calf Grow Pencils, Heifer Grow, Dairy Milk Plus, and Maxi Milk Plus, products of Unga FarmKenya.
Akishiba, Utashiba, Utashiba.
Profite na ng'ombe wako.
Kono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la FarmKenya.
Hello there, this is FarmKenya show right here on KTN, and today we are in Machakos County at Kamudhanga Farm, and this is where they do different kinds of farming. And of course today we are talking about fish farming, and we'll be looking at tilapia. Today we'll be learning about a lot of things. We'll be looking at the process in which tilapia takes in order for it to grow from where it is just a fingerling into the plate. I can't wait for that. So Come with me. Let's get in and see what they have for us today.
How was your trip?
It was fine. How are you?
Karibu at Kamudhanga. We are happy to have you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes. All right, so this is Patrick Mundia, and he is the farm manager at
Kamudhanga Fish Farm.
Kamudhanga Fish Farm. Of course, it's a farm, but we also do other things.
Yes.
All right, so he's going to be explaining to us today about tilapia and how they bring it up from the fingerling to the plate. Right?
Exactly.
So.
Yes. So, karibu.
All right.
Yes. So, here we do fish as the main business. We keep tilapia, we keep catfish, we keep ornamental.
So where does the whole process start when it comes to rearing fish or fish farming?
Fish production starts in the hatchery, where we have the parents, and then we get fish eggs from the parents. We incubate the eggs, and after incubation, we rear them for around 40 days. They get to a size that can go to the nursery.
Okay.
At that size, which is around 1 gram size, which we take to the nursery for further production before we get them to the growout section. So it normally starts at the hatchery, and for us, we are lucky we have both tilapia hatchery and catfish hatchery, and our new line, which is the ornamental hatchery. Yeah. So the whole process starts from the hatchery.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, because you've mentioned tilapia, catfish, and also the ornamental ones, we want now to focus on tilapia.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at tilapia, what is the difference when it comes to how the whole process starts? And when now they're in their hatchery, how long do they stay there? And before they move to the next step. So let us first of all look at the difference. How does tilapia operate?
So tilapia is very different, and we say when it comes to breeding, we say each species have their own unique way of doing breeding. What tilapia does, it starts with the male initiating the process. So the male are territorial, they initiate the process, and within the initiation process period, they have to change their color to attract the female. The female comes, they have to lay the eggs. The male have to externally fertilize. It's a whole technical bit of it, how they do it. They have to fertilize the eggs. Then the female have to incubate the eggs in their mouth. When they're in the mouth, our work is very easy. We have to get into the tank and collect the eggs from their mouth because we have an artificial incubator. I know next time when you come, I will show you how we incubate the eggs and all that. Now within the incubator, they stay for around 5 days. From the incubator, now we take them to the production unit.
Okay.
At the hatchery level, we call them the swim-ups. So we put them in high numbers at the production unit. We feed them hourly for 16 times in a day. So it's intensive from that point.
Okay.
And as Kamudhanga, we are very unique in our production. our production, we use the most recent technology, which is known as recirculating aquaculture system, where we recirculate the water. Remember, Kamudanga is located in Machakos County, which is a semi-arid area. So water is not a readily available resource for this region. So the much we get, we have to make maximum use of that water. Okay. And that's why we adopted this technology. So in the swim up is where we start now fully recirculatory system, maximizing on this water. So we produce a lot of fish in a very small area, feeding them intensively, and with that, in 40 days, we are able to get the size that is likely to go to the nursery, or this is the same size that we also sell to farmers, because we believe to provide quality fingerlings, and size is one of the mark of quality for the farmers.
All right.
Yes.
Now, let's now look at nursery, because now that is the next step. Yeah. So when they reach the nursery stage, what is critical? What is being looked at? First of all, how do they, what necessitates the fact for them to move to nursery?
The nursery.
Yes.
Nursery is a very important stage when it comes to fish production. And this is a stage that most farmers have been neglecting. It's very important because you have to understand the biology and the growth rate of the fish before you know the particular stages you're going to have within your farm. And nursery is a stage, if you're a serious commercial farmer, nursery is a stage that you cannot ignore. You cannot ignore the nursery. Why? According to the biology of fish and the growth of fish, the growth curve of fish, it will take you the longest time to grow the fish from eggs to 100 grams. And if you're not serious within this period, where they are grown from the egg size to 100 grams, then your production period will be highly prolonged. Remember, this is a game of numbers and this is a game of time. So if you are a farmer, as Kevin, you're a farmer, and you are able to produce your fish in 4 months. I'm in the same space, and my fish I'm producing in 2 years. You are more into business than I am.
Yes.
Because you're able to get your product in the shortest time possible. So because of this reason, it is important to have the nursery stage so that you can speed where the point at which the growth is highly limited, the growth rate is highly limited, which is the nursery stage, where now we are growing them between 1 gram to around 50 to 60 grams, speeding them up. If you are taking that fish directly from the hatchery to the final stage of production, your fish will stay for a very long time. Okay. And that's why we have to take them through the nursery stage. And at the nursery stage is a critical stage. We have to take consideration of all the environmental factor and the nutritional requirement for them to have that speedy growth. And what we do, as you can see, we have a well-elaborated system that is fitted with all the RAS components. So in this unit, as you can see, we have a heating system where we make sure that the ambient air is well warmed up to temperatures up to 35 to 40 degrees. And these temperatures are then transferred through a physics mechanism. The temperature of the air is transferred to the water in this unit, as you can see. And through this, the water gains the temperature, because temperature is an important factor, because it's directly proportional to growth. You have to get the right temperature for you to get optimum growth. Because holding all other factors constant, temperature is a factor that would really mess up your growth, your growth rate. Right. Yeah. So at this unit, you can see we are taking care of that with the greenhouse effect. Then the other thing is oxygen, because we put high number of fish in a very small area. In this one tank, we put around 20,000 when they are 1 gram. And this tank capacity, volume capacity is around 4,000 liters. So that's a high stocking density. So we have to pump in air into the system, as you can see. We also have to remove the waste that comes about in the process of production. Yes. So remember, these fish will poop in the water, and then they will release their nitrogenous waste, which is basically ammonia. So you have to get rid of this. So we have a mechanism to make sure we remove this physical waste, And to make sure now we also remove the ammonia, which is the nitrogen-based waste from the water. And then again, we have to check other parameters like pH of the water must be within range, which is 6.5 to 8.5, and other parameters. So with this, we make sure that the environment is healthy for them to grow optimally.
Okay.
Then now we come to the nutrition aspect of it.
All right. And now, even as you've extensively explained, touching on all these things that you look at, when it comes to the temperature, you mentioned about 35 to 40. That is a bit high. So what usually happens, especially when it comes to water? Because many people would think fish survive in cold water.
Yeah.
So explain to us how this comes about and what it helps during the growth stage of fish.
Remember, the kind of fish that we keep warm climate fish. Tilapia is a warm climate fish, catfish is a warm climate fish, even the ornamental species that we have at the farm, they are warm climate fish. What are warm climate fish? These are fish that are found within the tropic naturally. So any fish that is outside the tropic is referred to as cold climate fish. But any fish that is within the tropic, natural resources, water resources like our lakes, like in our rivers, all these fishes refers to as warm climate fish. This means that they need warm temperature for them to operate normally, and also for you to have optimum survival and optimum growth. There is a temperature range that you have to achieve.
Okay.
That's one thing. The other thing that you need to understand is fish are cold-blooded. So being cold-blooded, it means that their body temperature is highly affected by the temperature of the surrounding. So what that tells to a farmer is, if you put fish in water that has temperatures of 20 degrees, even the body of the fish will be 20 degrees. If you put fish in temperatures of 25 degrees, the body of the fish will be around 25 degrees. Now, the question is, what is the preferred temperature, or what is the best temperature for you to have optimum growth? And remember, we are not talking of air temperature. We are talking of water temperature, where the fish lives, because water is the surrounding of fish, is the environment of fish. So for water temperature, for you to get optimum growth, we say it should be in a range of 25 to 30 degrees, and the optimum average is 27, 28 degrees. So throughout the production system, you need to achieve this. And you will see at the farm, we have invested heavily to make sure in all our production units, we are achieving this temperature. Okay. In the hatchery, you will see we have a unit that we call the solar water panels, where we pump water into those panels, and the panel absorb heat from the sun, and they end up warming the broodstock tank. Also in the hatchery, you will see we have direct heating using energy from the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, directly heating using heaters to our swim-up system, so that we can be able to get this temperature. But when we get to the nursery, because now the volume of the water in this tank is a lot, we cannot do direct heating. It will cost us a lot. So for this reason, we adopted the greenhouse effect. So we have a nice building, clear panels, transparent panels. They bring in the light and the heat, and is retained within the system. It doesn't flow out. Okay. And now by heating that air, the water will be able to absorb this heat, and then the fish will have the required temperatures. Right. With that, we are able to get our average temperatures at 28 degrees. And the growout is the same mechanism that we use. So temperature, because of those two reasons, that fish are cold-blooded, and also that you are farming warm climate fish, you must take care of it to make sure that you'll get good results.
All right. And now that we've looked at that, let us look at the food. The food that this particular fish. At this time, they are fingerlings, right? Or we
call them post fingerling.
All right, post fingerlings.
Yes.
The kind of food they get. Is there a particular kind of food they have to get, or someone can just bring anything that they would feed the fully grown fish? Yes.
At nursery stage, is a transition point. right from the very critical fry stage in the hatchery, and now you're moving to, it's like a rite of passage. You're moving out to adulthood.
Yes.
But because of what I explained earlier, that this is the region where you need to speed up your growth for you to reduce the production days so that you're able to get your product at the shortest time possible. So at this stage, feeding is very important. And allow me to state the following, and this is a very controversial statement in fishery industry. So the statement is that for every commercial farmer, you must use commercial feed. You must. If you are calling yourself as a commercial farmer, you must use commercial feed. Why? Commercial feed are able to give all the nutritional requirement of that particular fish at a given stage. Remember the hatchery stage, at that point the body cells are regenerating very fast. The growth rate is very sharp, very fast. So you need high proteins, and high proteins, these are the building blocks. That's why in the hatchery you will see that the protein content of the feed are above 44% protein content. But when you come to the nursery, you still have to maintain that pace. And the feeding should be within the starter brackets. So at the nursery we feed the starter feeds, and starter feeds have one, high proteins. This will enable the fish to grow very fast. Two, they have good energy sources. The fat content will be a bit high. They'll have other additives like vitamins to enable the fish to have a good immune system. So the commercial feed will take care of that. The opposite of that is people going out there, buying ingredients themselves without a background knowledge on fish nutrition.
Yes.
Mix this ingredient and start feeding fish in the name of you want to cut cost of the feed. It will be even expensive than you expected because of adulteration of this ingredient. Like if you buy omena or ochonga in Machakos, you'll find it very interfered with, some with sand in it and all that. So this is a caution that at nursery stage, even at a production level that we can say is commercial farming, please make sure you're using commercial feed for you to get better results. Okay. So we feed them with high protein feed at the nursery, and our feeding frequency is also high than the Growout frequency. So at the nursery we feed them hourly for 16 times in a day. So they are fed between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're fed 8 times. They rest for 4 hours. They start again feeding from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning, because we have a 24-hour kind of system, yes, within our farm, both for management and also for feeding. So again, they are fed for another 8 times. So in total, we feed them 16 times, because frequency is also very important. Then also the particle size you should feed the right particle size of feed to the right size of fish, because remember, we are growing them from 1 gram to 50 grams. At this stage, the fish will encounter around 2 particle size difference. They will feed 1.2, 1.6, and then now they will transition to 2 millimeter at this nursery stage. Yeah, so it's a very critical stage. You have to be very good in your feeding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that. Very, very, very well explained. Now, let's move and see what is the other... now, after the nursery, when you have fed them very well, now they are mature enough to move to the next stage. What are we looking at in terms of moving to the next stage, and what do you usually use to carry this fish to the next stage? Because now their size is much bigger.
Yeah.
They are more grown than when they were fingerlings.
Yeah.
So what do you do, and when you are moving it now to the next stage, and what do you use to carry into the next stage?
Okay. Now from the nursery, the next stage is the growout, which is the final production stage for our farm. So the growout is the last production stage. So within the nursery, we have to carry other management practices
Yes.
that will enable us get the right size that will now transfer to the next stage. So one of these management practice is grading. We have to do grading of fish. So we have graders. So a grader is a tool. It's an aquaculture tool that enables you to get cohorts of fish that grows uniformly. So what happens, you put fish in this grader, the small ones go through, the bigger ones are restrained. And with this, our target is to remove around 1% of the very fast growing fish and around another 1% of the slower growing fish. So the slower growing fish, these are fish that will be vulnerable to parasites and diseases and those kind of things. They are being bullied in your system. Yeah, because they have that attribute of growing slowly. So we remove that and we discard that. And then the fast growing, around 1%, we also don't want that kind of a characteristic. So we are left with the middle class, which one have a uniform growing rate, and this is a big advantage to fish farmer because now imagine you have fish that are growing in a very varying kind of cluster. That if you are targeting 500 grams, you have a few fish that are 1 kilo, others are 500, others are 10 grams, others are 100 grams. So when you have your fish all over, at the business point of it, it's a disadvantage to a farmer. So you want to have at least 80% of your population is within the class that can be sold. So that's why we must do grading within the nursery, and we do grading in the nursery at least 3 times. So with this, we get a cohort that is ready to move to the growout. Our target is around 50 grams fish. So we will grade, and then during the final grading is when now we are moving the fish. So we move them in very low numbers, and we have people walking around with bowls, with water, and transferring the fish from one system to the other. And the distance between our nursery and our growout is less than 50 meters. So there's no much concern within that distance, because if it's a longer distance, then you'll have a better way of transferring your fish. So we have to reduce the level of the water, grade the fish. Now we have the cohort that we need. Now we're scooping in portion, because again we have to do the weighing. Because we are going to stock, we are going to take to another system. So we are going to weigh them and then move them into the tanks in bowls.
Right, with that, we've come to another break, and I believe you have learned something today. And remember, we are at Kamudhanga Farm, where we are looking at fish production. We are looking at fish farming, and specifically tilapia fish. So don't go too far. We'll be back with more. And when we come back, we're going to be looking at how you can make it even by yourself. So don't go too far.
Mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la FarmKenya.
All right, welcome back. And before we went for break, I told you we are talking about fish farming. And of course, look at me and how I'm adorned. This is what people wear, and this is what the fishermen wear when they go for scaling. And later on, we'll be going to scaling. But right now, over to this place, we are looking at the final stage where the fish are going to be harvested. And I'm going to welcome Patrick.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank
So
you,
let us
Kevin.
look at this particular final stage and what usually happens here. So explain to us what is about to happen.
This is a very important stage. This is the purging process. So remember, after the growout, which is our last production system, the fish are not sold directly from the production system to the market.
Yes.
No, we have to bring them outside in clear water, as you can see, and we have to starve them for at least 6 days for purging so that we can enhance their taste. When you get a fish direct from the production to the market, that fish, the taste is off because it have other impurities like the excess food, the ammonias and all that. So you need to purge that fish. You need to bring the taste back.
So for 6 days?
For 6 days we starve them,
yes.
and this enhances their taste, and this is a mark of quality for us as Kamudanga.
Okay.
So you will see what they are doing. So they will be walking and cornering the fish with the net. We call this the seining procedure of harvesting, and we are going to do partial harvesting. So we'll just select a few of the fish, and then we'll take them to the processing. So Kiprop, you can come. Yes, what's happening?
Some are running towards.
Yes, you know that's the environment, and they will see them coming and they will run away or swim away. That's the word, swim away, not run away. Yeah.
Right. And I can see some fish. There are fish with different colors. There are others that are bluish.
Mm.
There are others that are pink. What needs to
So
be
for a very long time, people have not been able to know that tilapia can camouflage. Yes, so they try to emulate or copy the color of the environment. So you'll see they're trying to, because now if they have a different color, they'll be visible from the predator's perspective. But now they will try and camouflage so that they can hide.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a very good catch.
So do you usually count the number of fish that can be harvested at once?
Yes, for accountability, we have to keep tab of the number of fish that we have at all stages. The weighing scale is here. So depending on the client, different client will take different sizes of fish. So that's why we need a weighing scale to confirm the sizes. Yeah. So we'll put water into the bowl and then select the one that we need.
So the water comes from inside?
From inside, because of also fish are, if you change their environment, especially the temperature difference is more than 2 degrees, they might get shocked.
So you can just bring tap water
No.
then now you say,
No.
let me place the
No. Haya, customer anataka hizo kubwa kabisa hiyo kubwa kabisa. 5
so
pieces.
And can we say the water is salty or?
No, this freshwater fish.
No.
Freshwater fish, the water should have at least 1% and below.
5.
Enough. Those are 5 pieces.
These other ones that are remaining on the net, they are going to be let go again.
Yes, because it's partial harvesting. Yeah, only when we are doing complete harvesting is when now we have even to drain the tank so that we can access all the fish.
All right.
But for this this harvest today, we're just doing partial harvesting. So we take what we need and the rest we return into the pond.
And are
in the tank.
Are we seeing a scenario where the ones that are here are going to be joined by the others from the
No.
Yes.
What we do FIFO, first in, first out. So we don't add other fish if we are not done with this batch. And we have a couple of tanks, as you can see, where we are preparing the next batch for the next week, for the coming week. So this one we do projections of our.
So this one has to be.
So this one has been to be cleared out.
Plus the water.
Yeah, and clean and disinfected, and then we start the cycle again for this particular tank.
All right.
Yeah, that's why we have more than one tank for that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the 5 here.
Yeah. So we are going to weigh them, and you can see our fish has a very nice shape. Normally fish should have an oval shape so that you get more of the flesh.
Okay.
Because for tilapia, if you don't have a good shape, you'll get less of the flesh. And this is what people say outside, the tilapia have a lot of bones, some of those stereotypes, but it's all about the shape of the fish. So this is a male
or a female?
This is a male. Okay. So for production, we only grow male fish. And when we get to the hatchery, I will explain to you why we do male fish only. Okay. So all this will be flesh. So we are going to weigh this fish. So we have to tear the bucket.
So we put the bucket on top?
On top, yeah.
Okay. I'll hold it for you.
So we put 0, we tear. So it's 0. Then we put one fish. Let's see this, the weight of the fish. That's an 890 grams.
890 grams?
Yeah. So we sell our fish in kilos. 1 kilo we sell at 550.
Kenya shillings.
Kenya shillings,
yes,
per kilo. And our ranges, selling ranges starts from 250 all the way to 500 grams because our target is 500 grams. But in the production of 500 grams, at some point you'll see some other jumping over the 500 mark. Yeah, it happens.
Like this one, the 800. Can we get another one that we can, so that we can see the?
Yes, you see, like this one.
This one is a bit smaller.
A bit smaller.
Yes.
And this one will be around 650 grams.
650.
Yes, 650 grams. Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
we have our pieces. So then the next thing, if after confirming the right size, they are the right sizes, now we take them for processing.
Okay.
At the farm, we can sell our product in 3 forms. We can sell them gutted, so where we scale and we remove the guttings, the guts, which are the intestines. We clean very well, and we pack in cooler boxes and in ice, and we transport to our clients. And for other clients, they come for the fish. That's one form of the product. The other form of the product, we can sell them live. We have an outlet in Nairobi, on Gong Road, known as Everything Fish, where we take the fish live in a very nice aquarium, and people can go and take it a very fresh fish, because freshness
so
is
they
a mark
choose
of
from
quality.
the
Yeah,
aquarium.
it's point and kill. So give me this and this and this. The other form is we can sell it deep fried, because we have a non-farm restaurant where it's prepared, deep fried nicely, with different cuisines. You can get it in coconut flavor or any other flavor, and then you buy it at that point. So we have those 3 levels. But for today, we are going to do the gutting one. So we'll take the fish to the processing and then process together.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think before we go, what if the fish that is put here is, do you have anything like underweight? Because there are fish that look bigger, but maybe the weight is not there.
Yeah. It happens because at some point, some clients want a particular size and in large numbers. So you can have a client wanting 300 pieces to be 400 grams, or 300 pieces to be 300 grams.
So do you let
Yes.
you do let it back to
yeah,
the
if the fish doesn't meet that class, we have to take it back to the tank.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess these hours are okay.
Yes, ours are okay.
Okay.
So we'll carry them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now to the scaling and the
To the processing now.
yes. All right, so we are in the processing room, and the 5 fish that we harvested from the other side are here with us. And Patrick, sasa unaenda kutuonyesha what we are supposed to be doing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is a very sensitive area. Remember, now is in this room where now you prepare the product for the final consumer. So you have to be sensitive, not to interfere with the quality of the fish. So there are steps to follow before you process the fish.
Okay.
So the processing steps starts with stunning, where you hit the fish with a blunt object. That's the ethical way of killing fish. You hit it on the head. After hitting with the head on the head, and the fish is relaxed. Why are you doing this? You're doing this because a live fish normally have spikes. So the spikes during processing, it can injure you.
Oh, this one.
Yes, these spikes and also others on the fin. And they are very sharp and very strong. So you need to stun it so that the fish can be docile. You see that action, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to stun the fish. After that, now we do the scaling. We remove the scale. So we can do one step at a time. So this is the blunt object that we are using. So I will hold my fish, avoiding the danger region. Then I will hit the fish on the head like that, and then I make sure the fish is dead. Yeah. So after that, now
So
I've
that
confirmed.
Oh, it's dead now.
The fish is no, it's not that it's dead. It's just that it's in the process of dying.
Okay.
And now it's not that active. And this is a very good point now to scale.
Okay.
Now for scaling, you can use either a scaling tool. These are an example of scaling tools, or you can do using a direct knife.
Okay.
So you hold the fish by the head, and then you scale from the tail to the head, like that. You see, you're removing the scales.
I'll do the other side.
You will do the other side,
Yes.
or you can do your own fish.
You want me to do my own
You
fish?
can do your own fish from the
Alright.
from the first step. So normally people forget removing scale at this region. So you do that. You do that again. At this region again, you remove the scales. You remove the scales on the belly of the fish. You turn the fish again. It's a very smooth process. With the right tool, it becomes very smooth. So the purpose of this is to make sure that all the scales are dislodged from the body, even in these areas that people forget.
So do the fins usually have a covering like a scale, the way the other parts of the body have?
No, the fins don't have scales. Yeah, it's just the fish. So after we are done with that, we can go ahead and now access the internal body organs. So you use your knife through the anal opening, and you cut through all the way through the chest of the fish, like that. So this one allows you to access the internal body organs. So you make sure you remove everything from the fish. And we always have a bucket ready to put this offal there. So you see we have removed everything. Yeah. Then the next step is cleaning the fish. For us, we are going to taste this fish. Okay. Yeah. So we'll clean.
We have to taste.
We have to taste the fish. Yes. Yeah. So otherwise, if it was another customer who is taking fish maybe in Nairobi, they will have a cooler box, and then we'll put nicely on the cooler box with some ice to preserve the fish, just to stop the process of rotting, which we put fish under 4 degrees. Yeah. You can take one and you try the process. Now, Kevin, yes, we already washed our hands. You have the right gear to do the processing. So it is you to dive in.
Let me dive in and pick
just
mine now.
Pick your own fish.
Let me pick mine. So I've picked mine.
Yes, bring it on the table.
Oh, it has slipped from my hand.
This is the object.
So, he has said this is the process of... So you said we hold...
You hold the fish in such a way that you can hit.
Yes,
You hold it like this, and then you hit at this point.
Okay, can you hold for me?
No, you go ahead. This is a fish. You just avoid the region.
Okay.
Yeah.
I avoid the region?
Yeah, by extending your...
My hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you can hold them down.
Down.
Yeah, you can hold they are in such a way that they bend towards the tail.
All right.
Yeah, you can hold them down.
Let me just wait for them to go down.
You can do it yourself.
Okay. Like this.
Yeah,
Right.
and make sure your grip is very firm. Hit it on air.
On air?
When you have lifted the fish.
Okay, I've lifted it up.
Yeah. Hata amepigwa nduru.
That is done?
That is done. Yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay, right.
You can do the scaling.
The scaling?
Yeah. So you can use this tool to scale. So you hold the fish by the head.
By the head?
And then you scale from the tail to the head.
Okay.
Yeah, by moving the tool, touching the skin of the fish.
Yes.
Yeah, put some nini on it.
Is it really dead?
So, confirmed.
Confirmed. This is the process of removing the scales from the fish. And you said from the tail
To the head.
to the head, right? So you remove the scales?
You make sure you remove the whole lot, even this region.
Even this region, right?
At the head there. Done.
That's fine.
Yeah, now use the knife.
So we cut from there, say it from here.
From the anal opening, you dip in the knife. Like that.
Right.
Continue. At that point, it's always hard because there's a bone connecting the two fins. And then you go all the way. Now you can open the internal body parts.
And then you just remove
And then you scoop out the internal parts. Good job.
Yes. So these are the internal parts, and then you put them there.
Yeah. Then you're ready to wash your fish.
So the internal parts have been removed, and now we want to put it in the water
Yeah.
to wash it. Right.
So normally, the main reason of removing the internal body organs is because they are the ones that are fasten the process of rotting. Because rotting starts from the stomach, those body, there is where we have a lot of bacteria. So you have to make sure all that organs within the body cavity are removed just to slow down that process, and so that you increase the shelf life of the fish. Yeah.
All right. And now, so we've removed the scales, we've washed the fish. Now we're going to get ready to put it on the plate. So just let's from here
To
straight
fork.
there.
Now we are out of the farm, we are going to fork.
To fork.
Let's go and taste
All right.
the fish.
Let's go.
Yes.
All right. All right, we are here. We were at the processing room and we spoke about it moving to the plate. And we have the fish here. Mine is dry fry and his is
Wet fry, yeah.
Right, so this is the fish that I removed the scales by myself, and him, that is what he had.
Yeah.
He did. Okay, so can we taste it?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead. So you can take it with ugali, you can either take it with
With chips.
chips.
So you see this plate is complete diet. You have your fish, you have ugali, and you have grains.
Yeah, the fish is really nice.
So this is a non-farm restaurant. Just next.
All right, we've come to the end of this edition of Farm Kenya, and today we were speaking about fish farming. What is in front of me? A well-cooked, dry fried fish. And Patrick here is having wet fried fish. This is what we were just preparing the other time,
Yes,
right?
at
In
the processing,
room.
yeah.
Right, and this is a restaurant that is within the farm. You harvest your fish, it undergoes the processing where you remove the scales and the intestines, and then it is cooked, whichever thing you want and whichever style you want. And what is not to like about the background that is here? It's a dam where people also get to come and fish from this particular dam. And today we've been hosted by the farm manager, who is Patrick. Thank you so much for hosting us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. So we're just going to go ahead and finish this as we wrap up. Meet us right here on FarmKenya and KTN. Next time, same place. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi.
FarmKenya brought to you by Fugo.